Hi, and welcome to Changing Your Life One Oil at a Time. My name is April Lath, and this is my partner,
Sandra Donahue. I don't know why I just laughed. Sandra Donahue. I am Sandra Donahue. And today we're going to be talking about some different body systems. One is the muscular system, the second one is the skeletal system, and the third one is the nervous system. So today that is what we're going to discuss. And we have to say this in front of every single program. So to the disclaimer.
Any information shared in this program is not meant to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease, and is intended for educational purposes only. Nor are the products which are discussed and or presented are meant to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. They have not been evaluated by the FDA. Please seek advice from your healthcare professional knowledgeable in your area of concern.
So like I said, today we're going to be discussing the following body systems: muscular system, the skeletal system, and the nervous system. We will also be discussing Young Living essential oils that can help support these body systems. The first system we'll talk about today is the muscular system. Muscle tissue is made of excitable cells that are capable of contraction. Of all of the different tissue types, muscle tissue is the most abundant in most animals. Muscle tissue contains numerous microfilaments composed of actin and myosin, which are contractile proteins. There are three different types of muscle tissue. Cardiac muscle is found in the heart. Cells are joined to one another by interrelated discs, which allow the synchronization of the heartbeat. Cardiac muscle is branched, striated muscle. The skeletal muscle, attached to bones by tendons, is associated with the body's voluntary movements. Skeletal muscle is striated muscle. Unlike cardiac muscle, the cells are not branched. Visceral muscle is found in various parts of the body, such as the arteries, the bladder, the digestive tract, as well as in many other organs. Visceral muscle is also called smooth muscle because it doesn't have cross striations. Visceral muscle contracts slower than skeletal muscle, but the contraction can be sustained over a longer period of time. Interestingly, adults have a certain number of muscle cells. Through exercise such as weightlifting, the cells enlarge, but the overall number of cells do not increase. Skeletal muscles are voluntary muscles because we have control over their contraction. Visceral muscles are involuntary since, for the most part, they are consciously controlled. The skeletal system, the second system we'll be talking about. The skeletal system supports and protects the body while giving it shape and form. This system is composed of connective tissue, including bone, cartilage, tendons, and ligaments. Nutrients are provided to this system through blood vessels that are contained within canals in bone. The skeletal system stores minerals, fats, and produces blood cells. Another major role of the skeletal system is to provide mobility. Tendons, bones, joints, ligaments, and muscles work together to produce various movements. The skeleton is composed of fibrous and mineralized connective tissue that gives its firmness and flexibility. It consists of bone, cartilage, tendons, joints, and ligaments. Bone is a type of mineralized connective tissue that contains collagen and calcium phosphate, a mineral crystal. Calcium phosphate gives bones its firmness. Bone tissue may be compact or spongy. Bones provide support and protection for body organs. Cartilage is a form of fibrous connective tissue that is composed of closely packed collagenous fibers in a rubbery, gelatinous substance called chondrin. Cartilage provides flexible support for certain structures in adult humans, including the nose, the trachea, and the ears. Tendon is a fibrous band of connective tissue that is bonded to bone and connects bone to bone. Ligament is a fibrous band of connective tissue that joins bones and other connective tissues together at joints. Joint is a site where two or more bones or other skeletal components are joined together. Bones are a major component of the skeletal system. Bones that comprise the human skeleton are divided into two groups. They are the axial skeleton bones and the appendicular skeletal bones. An adult human skeleton contains 206 bones, 80 of which are from the axial skeleton and 126 from the appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton includes bones that run along the medial sagittal plane of the body. Imagine a vertical plane that runs through your body from front to back and divides the body into equal right and left regions. This is the medial sagittal plane. The axial skeleton forms a central axis that includes bones of the skull, the hyoid, the vertebral column, and the thoracic cage. The axial skeleton protects numerous vital organs and soft tissue of the body. The skull provides protection for the brain, the vertebral columns protect the spinal cord, and the thoracic cage protects the heart and the lungs. The skull includes bones of the cranium, the face, and the ears, also called auditory ossicles. The hyoid, U-shaped bone or complex of bones located in the neck between the chin and the larynx. The vertebral column includes the spinal vertebrate. The thoracic cage includes the ribs and the sternum or the breastbone. The appendicular skeleton is comprised of body limbs and structures that attach limbs to the axial skeleton. Bones of the upper and lower limbs, the pectoral girdles, and the pelvic girdle are components of this skeleton. Although the primary function of the appendicular skeleton is for bodily movement, it also provides protection for organs of the digestive system, the excretory system, and the reproductive system. The skeletal divisions include the pectoral girdle, which includes the shoulder bones, the clavicle, and the scapula. The upper limbs includes bones of the arms and the hands. The pelvic girdle includes the hip bones, and the lower limbs include the bones of the legs and the feet. The nervous system is the third system we'll be talking about today. The nervous system consists of the brain, the spinal cord, and a complex network of neurons. This system is responsible for sending, receiving, and interpreting information from all parts of the body. The nervous system monitors and coordinates internal organ function and responds to change in the external environment. This system can be divided into two parts, the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Let's take a look at the central nervous system. The central nervous system, or the CNS, is the processing center for the nervous system. It receives information from and sends information to the peripheral nervous system. The two main organs of the CNS are the brain and the spinal cord. The brain processes and interprets sensory information sent from the spinal cord. Both the brain and the spinal cord are protected by 3 layers of connective tissue called the meninges. Within the central nervous system is a system of hollow cavities called ventricles. The network of linked cavities in the brain, or the cerebral ventricles, is continuous with the central canal of the spinal cord. The ventricles are filled with cerebrospinal fluid, which is produced by specialized epithelium located within the ventricles called the choroid plexus. Cerebrospinal fluid surrounds cushions and protects the brain and the spinal cord from trauma. It also assists in the circulation of nutrients to the brain. The brain is a control center of the body. It consists of 3 main components: the forebrain, the brainstem, and the hindbrain. The forebrain is responsible for a variety of functions, including receiving and processing sensory information, thinking, perceiving, producing and understanding language, and controlling motor function. The forebrain contains structures such as the thalamus and the hypothalamus, which are responsible for such functions as motor control, relaying sensory information, and controlling autonomic functions. It also contains the largest part of the brain, the cerebrum. The hindbrain extends from the spinal cord and contains such structures such as the pons and the cerebellum. These regions assist in maintaining balance and equilibrium, movement, coordination, and the conduction of sensory information. The hindbrain also contains the medulla oblongata, which is responsible for controlling such autonomic functions as breathing, heart rate, and digestion. The spinal cord is a cylindrical shaped bundle of nerve fibers that is connected to the brain. The spinal cord runs down the center of the protective spinal column, extending from the neck to the lower back. Spinal cord nerves transmit information from body organs and external stimuli to the brain and send information from the brain to the other areas of the body. The nerves of the spinal cord are grouped into bundles of nerve fibers that travel in two pathways. Ascending nerve tracts carry sensory information from the body to the brain. Descending nerve tracts send information pertaining to motor function from the brain to the rest of the body. Neurons are the basic unit of the nervous system. All cells of the nervous system are comprised of neurons. Neurons contain nerve processes, which are finger-like projections that extend from the nerve cell body. The nerve processes consist of axons and dendrites, which are able to conduct and transmit signals. Axons typically carry signals away from the cell body. They are long nerve processes that may branch out to convey signals to various areas. Dendrites typically carry signals toward the cell body. Neurons are usually more numerous, shorter, and more branched than axons. Axons and dendrites are bundled together into what are called nerves. These nerves send signals between the brain, the spinal cord, and other body organs via nerve impulses. Neurons are classified as either motor, sensory, or interneurons. Motor neurons carry information from the central nervous system to organs, glands, and muscles. Sensory neurons send information to the central nervous system from our internal organs or from external stimuli. Interneurons relay signals between motor and sensory neurons. Now, why is this important? Some people are probably thinking, wow, that's a lot of dry information. And it's really not something that you need to understand when you're using Young Living oils. It's just really important to kind of get a base understanding of the different body systems that we all have, and then also to figure out what different oils can help with each of the different body systems. And the Premium Starter Kit that we've talked about in the past and will continue to talk about into the future and today really touch on every single body system except for the endocrine system, which is the hormone system. And we really want to get a basic understanding of what those body systems are so that we can figure out which oils will help us the best and also which oils are going to touch on those body systems. Because when you're using oils, and the bottles are so small, and you just want to make sure that you're using them to the best of the ability and you're not wasting your oils. And one of the things that we learn really early on in using oils is less is more. And oils are really fabulous because they really, when you put them on topically, they know where to go. And they're smarter than us, and they know that even if I'm putting them here, they might be needed down here. And so they'll really go where they're needed. But the idea of learning about the different body systems is just giving us a good general education on what these oils can do. Not everybody needs that information, but I just thought as long as we're doing this, we might as well just talk about each of the